Hi guys, my name is Tracy and today I will be doing a cooking video for you. I will be making steak fried rice. What you're going to need is a steak. It don't matter what kind of steak you have, but right here I got a tip sirloin. I also got white rice, breadcrumbs, 1 onion, self-rising flour. I got some soy sauce, less sodium. It's a lot healthier for you because it don't have all that salt in it. Jack Daniel's steak seasoning. Basil. I also got some Dill seasoning here too I will be using. Nature seasoning. I got some minced garlic here. I also got some tenderizer for the meat. And some butt rub. This stuff makes everything good. It's like a barbecue thing, but you mix it with different seasonings. It is so good. So what I'm going to be doing for you today is I am going to be doing some meat here. Cutting it up in strips for our steak fried rice. And how you want to do that is, this is about 1 pound of meat here. I would say about 1 pound of meat. You want to clean it up. You also want to cut it into strips or cubes, kind of like this. I'm going to just place them in here because I'm going to be breading them and stuff. I'm going to be doing cubes today or slices. Either which way you want to do it. I'm doing mine in slices, so it'll be a lot more. That's about like 1 inch, probably about 1 inch that you want to have your meat. You want this to be cooked evenly and cooked so no redness or anything. But if you like it like medium well, go right ahead, fix it the way you want to fix it. I love cooking, guys. This is one of my passions, and I come up with my own recipes, and this is one of my own recipes that I have came up with. I literally think about this stuff at the top of my head, and they usually pretty much come out great. I love experimenting on my family and friends. Gross. I'm just going to be cutting up the rest of this meat here, slicing it up. Let's see. That was a little too big here. We're just going to cut it in. There we go. I'm using these tin foils that I had gotten from Publix for like 97 cents. You can also get them like at Walmart, anywhere you want to get them from, to put meat in stuff. They're great for holding a lot of stuff and seasoning them. I do my seasoning a little bit different than what other people do. All this fat. It's gross. Now, some people like the fat on it, but I'm one of those people that don't like the fat on it because it makes it a little bit tougher with this kind of meat. But we're going to go ahead and just finish cutting this up here. And it looks like nothing but fat in the rest of this, so that ain't going to work for me. Alright, so now I have some meat. This is about like a good enough pound. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to season the meat first because it gives it more flavor if I do. This is tenderizer. What this does is tenderize the meat and make it a little bit more tender than what it usually is. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle this all over my meat, so it will be nice and juicier. And now we'll be adding a little bit of steak seasoning to this. So what is going to happen, you can use about 2 tablespoons of steak seasoning, Jack Daniels or any kind of seasoning you want. I just like to eyeball it. And then I got some nature seasoning. This has salt and pepper in it and a lot of other natural, I guess you can call it, flavors like parsley and stuff, whatever they put in this stuff. So you're gonna use about a tablespoon of that to 2. Then I'm gonna also use, let me take that off real quick, guys. Dill seasoning. Dill seasoning is salty, so you don't want to use too much of this. So I would say use about a teaspoon of this, maybe about to 2 teaspoons. You don't want it covering the meat because you don't want it that salty, and we don't need it salty. I'm also gonna add some butt rub to this to give it that smoky barbecue flavor to this meat. This you can use about a tablespoon, I would say, like the rest of the stuff. And then I'm gonna just add some flour on top of that. Let me go ahead and just pour some flour on this. Just a little bit to cover the meat here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be coming over here and I'm gonna be turning on my stove to on high, well, medium high. You want to set to medium high because you don't want to burn the meat or anything like that and stuff. Sorry for the noise. So I got like a small pan here on the stove that I'm just going to add some olive oil, virgin olive oil to, and let that heat up so it can get nice and hot because you want that sizzling sound when it starts cooking the meat. Here, there we go. Now, you want to mix this all up with anything. My hands are clean, guys, trust me on that. Smells good. I want to get it nice and coated with the meat. It should look like this. The meat has the seasonings and flavors all over it. It's completely covered. Now, if you want to cut them in half because they're a little bit bigger, you can. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick here. And I think to some of them that are too big before I put them in the pan, I will cut them in half because they are a little too big. So I will go ahead and do that now so that the big ones can cook at least a little bit, even here if there's a lot of it. And it makes it a little bit more than just what you have in the pan. Excuse that. It's to let me know the time.
The time is now 4 o'clock. The current
Okay, so now that that's done, we also want to go ahead and get a pan ready for our rice because we want the water to boil just as much before everything is done put together. So I'm going to go ahead and put some water in the pan and let it start boiling for our rice. Go ahead and turn this on here. Just like that. Great. So now our pan with the oil is heating up. Looking good. We just need to spread this around here for the meat here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and put, like I said, the water on for our rice so we can get that done because once the rice is done to where it needs to be, I will then fry it up my own style to make fried rice. So right now, I am also going to add maybe a little bit of breadcrumbs to this to give it a little bit of a crunch. So I'm just going to add some of that in there too, just as well. So it would just be flour. There we go. Give it a little toss here. There we go. Wash my hands again. Looks so big. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go take our meat and we're gonna come over here and we're gonna turn this down just a little bit because we don't want it like spitting up at us or anything like that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna add my meat in here. It gives it that nice little sizzle. Oh, that one's a little bit big, but oh well. I'll just cut it when it's done. You don't really want to overcrowd your pan either with meat because it won't cook evenly. And we want this meat to be nice and brown and cook extremely evenly here. I use a small pan so that way it will let me know to, so I know not to let it go overboard. I'm gonna turn that just a little bit and bring you guys with me. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to be cutting up the onion for this. I'm just gonna wash this off real quick. There we go. And I'm gonna get another cutting board here. Just give me a second. Or not. Okay, anyways, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this cutting board too so that way I can have it for the onion here. There we go. Now I got one onion here. You want to finely chop it as fine as you can get it because you don't want big chunks of onion in your dish. You taste nothing but onion, and onions are not like, ugh, sometimes if you just eat it raw. I don't know who does that, but I sure don't. Anyways, I'm just getting all the skin off of this here. I can get it all off. Tough onion. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and chop it up. I'm going to cut it up into like little rings. I like to cut this up in rings. Slice it up before I dice it. And sometimes I like to slice them thin like this. You just want one onion. One onion's all you need because this is going to go into the rice when the rice gets done. So I'm just going to give this a quick chop here. Like so. And it's beautiful. There we go. I don't like to use this excess in and stuff. But you should have finely chopped onions like this. If you can see it, guys. That's what you want for the rice. You don't want too much of it, so we are going to keep it finely chopped like that. We are now going to go check up on our meat because we don't want it to burn. We just want it brown on both sides and cook really, really well. We're going to just turn these puppies over. Just like this. Looking good. So then it will look like this when it is cooking. We want it fully cooked. We don't want it too brown. We want it done perfectly. Now, some people say that you want to have it well done, like burnt, but I don't. So I like mine like normally brown enough where I know when I put it all together, it will still finish cooking the meat. So I won't have no worries about that. So I'm going to also put it in this pan and let it drain. So that way the grease would drain all off it. You don't want nothing too greasy in this dish because this is not a greasy dish. Now, for the onions, you can use white onions already diced up, or you can use green onions, whatever you prefer, however you prefer. It's your choice how you want to do this and how you want to go about things. It depends on your flavors. It has to be about what your flavors are. Don't be afraid to explore different recipes and new recipes, or make them your own and just try it. Just try it. I can promise you 100%, most of the time it will come out great the way you do it. I learned to cook when I was younger from my mom. So I'm a big cooking fanatic here. I love cooking. I love baking. So I decided that I'm going to go to school for cooking, which I'm enjoying, school. I just want to enhance my flavors here just a little bit. Some of these are still a little too big, but we'll deal with that when I start cutting them up here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and add more meat to this because I just took up the other meat. Now you don't have to wait till it's fully done. You can just brown it like maybe 2 to 3 minutes on each side to get it that nice golden brown. And then, just pick it up because it will cook some more when you put it all together. And that's what you want. You want it to be done, cooked, fully, all together. Wash my hands again. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come over here and add a little bit more extra olive oil into this so we can get some cooking here. More cooking. Turn it up just a little bit. I think this little piece is done. Let me try it. Oh gosh. That is amazing. Amazing. So, if you guys have any recipes you want me to do or try, I would be happy to do it. Just like I said, comment below your recipes. I would try them. If you have a challenge for me to do, I can do it. Or try to do it. So now that most of this is done, we're just waiting on the water to boil for the rice here. You also want eggs. You want like maybe 2 eggs, 1 to 2 eggs in this because it's fried rice. I make homemade chicken fried rice, but I decided I wanted to try something different and try it with steak instead. So we are doing steak fried rice, like I said. And these are really awesome. Let me just flip these over. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like, just in case you think it's going to be burnt. It's not burnt. It gives that golden crisp to it, but it's not burnt. Just so you guys know, there's a difference from that. So now that you know, we don't want it like burnt to a crisp. But it's okay if you have a little bit of burn around it because it makes the meat good. Just gonna stick these all back real quick so I have some room to work. Now I am probably gonna be doing my own little twist to it when I get into it. Here. And our water here is starting to boil a little bit. Now to this, I am going to add some salt to it. I'm going to add a little bit of, well, if I could put you guys down, if I put you guys back over here, I don't want my phone to melt. I am going to add a little bit of salt to this, if I can find my salt, or not. So I'll do like that. Sorry, I was far away. I'm using kosher salt because I can't find my pink salt. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt to this water here. So that way my rice won't stick together. I'm going to go ahead and pick up these small pieces. They're like done already. I love the scrapings at the bottom of this stuff. It makes it even more delicious. Delicious. I love cooking for anybody and everybody that I can cook for. That's hot. Alright, so now I'm going to add the rest of the meat in here. So it can cook. Add more oil to it so it can get it. That's the end of my oil. And we're just going to let the rest cook here. I got some white rice here. I'm going to probably just use one bag because I'm not cooking for a lot of people. So I'm just going to use one bag of rice, and this is what it looks like. It's minute rice. I usually cook it not for the full minute because after it's done boiling, what I needed to do, I'm going to put it all in a pan and mix it together and put it all together. And I don't want it to be fully cooked and mushy when I drain it and throw it in there to cook. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to pick up the rest of this meat so it can drain. This is beautiful. This meat is like so delicious. I have little scrapings at the bottom. Sometimes I like to scrape them and eat them. But every good chef knows that you have to try your stuff to see if it's good. Because you don't want to give somebody something that is not good and not want to pay for it. So I am literally going to do it this way. Now, for the fried rice, it can be a little bit more tricky. But if you want fried rice and you don't really know how to make it, I'm about to show you how to make it. You would have to start off with white rice first. Any kind of white rice, Uncle Ben's. I use the Success 10-minute rice, but I only leave it in for 5, like I said. So it's good either way. Any kind of white rice you like. Oops, sorry. About that. I have my meat here. Look how beautiful that is. It's drained. It's resting for the next thing. I don't know if you can see. Sorry. My rice is in there, about to boil. And the other part of the meat is getting ready to be done and cooking. Just like that. I'm going to just use this real quick and just stab it in there. And we're just going to flip this over here. A lot of grease in this pan. But, hey, it's what makes a good meal sometimes. Oh boy, it does get hot in the kitchen, guys. It really does. Really, really does. Sorry for my hair. Kind of all wacky today. Don't want to see you bad either. Okay. I'm just joking. I am drinking lemonade. Sorry, guys. It gets hot in this kitchen. Now I'm actually really going to decide it that I should just go ahead and pick up the meat because it's done. And we want the rest of the meat to rest here. So I keep moving you guys around a lot, but I'm just trying to, actually this one will go back in. I'm trying to like get everything together. Yeah, and I'm just going to use some of these scrapings here that I'm just sticking at the bottom here. Like I said, alright, that one's ready. The meat is ready. Move that off there. I'll just take you guys with me. Again, I'm sorry I keep moving you guys around way too much, but it's part of what my homemade video, first YouTube video ever. I've been wanting to do this for a while so that I can share my recipes with everybody in the world, and they can try them and comment and let me know how they like it or suggest any recipes of their own and what they like and everything. So, please bear with me. It is my first video. My very, very first video. Okay. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to check my rice. It's looking good. And you see how beautiful that rice is coming up to be. We're going to leave that in there for a few more minutes and let that cook for a few more minutes. While I do that, I am going to get me another pan out so I can add the rest of the ingredients to what we need to do for the fried rice. Now, in order to do this, it's an easy step. You don't have to have vegetables if you don't like vegetables in it, but I usually put peas in mine too, like an egg to make it fried ricey. So, if that's even a word. But, anyways, anywho, I am now going to do this. Now, for fried rice, I don't like using olive oil or any kind of oil because rice is already kind of, I don't know. Some people do. I usually do sometimes, but I'm not going to do that today. What I am going to do today is use some butter, salted butter, and I'm going to just take a tablespoon, just a tablespoon of butter, which looks like this. And if you don't know what it means, is that these are tablespoons right here, if you have butter like this, and you cut it on the line for each tablespoon. It goes up to 8 tablespoons. So it will tell you everything that you need for tablespoons, cups, how much 8 tablespoons equals 1 stick, a half cup of butter. So we're just going to use one tab, which is 1 tablespoon of butter, and let it melt. We might need more, but right now we're just going to use 1. Now what's going to happen now is, this is the fun part to fried rice. I love doing this. I'm going to take my onion that I chopped up, and I'm also going to just throw it in there because I want this to be like sauteed. We don't want it hard. We don't want it too soft. We don't want the onions to be brown. We just want to saute the onions. Sauteing means they're opaque. Means they're a little bit off-white. They're clear. So that's what you want to do. Now that our rice is almost done, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to go ahead and let this onions do their thing and sit here for a few minutes. Now to this, it's not just going to be onions into this. I'm also going to add maybe 2 tablespoons of garlic. You want to add in with the onions. And be careful, garlic burns. You don't want the garlic to burn, so you're going to have to keep stirring it and make sure it don't burn. So I'll put about 3 tablespoons in there, and it looks like this. About like a tablespoon and a half, maybe. So I'll just say a tablespoon and a half. You don't want too much garlic because you don't want it too garlicky. Nobody wants it too garlicky. They'll just like overpower it, and we don't want to overpower our fried rice. So, my phone wants to be crazy, Naya. I don't know what just happened. There we go. And I'm just going to mix this up so that the onions and the garlic can get that nice flavor into it. I want to have that nice flavor of onion and garlic into that. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and add a couple of eggs to it. Now, I know what people say, oh, you're going to scramble it first, then put it in there. No, I'm different. I normally just crack the egg in here, just like this. Oops. Just like this. So it would get that, start cooking, and you can scramble it in there. I'm going to use 2 eggs for this. Sorry guys, I have to wipe my hands. It's gross. Eggs are gross when you touch them. Anyways, I got my onions. My eggs are in here, going to be stirred up along with the garlic and onions. This is a good way for the garlic not to burn too. So I am going to go ahead, let this all cook, scramble, and so forth. Let's see. It's looking good so far. I'll show you what it looks like so far of what you want it to look like. So this is what it looks like so far. The egg, the garlic, and the onions all in here mixed together. I don't know why my camera looks like, oops. Didn't want to do that. Sorry guys, again, like I said, I'm new to doing this. So this is my first video. When I do more videos, it won't be like this. I promise. Next, I'm just going to go drain the rice here. And open it up. Get it nice and drained here. Alright, so now that this is drained, I'm just going to add this rice. Be careful, it is hot because it just came off the other stove here and everything. And I'm just going to mix this all in together, the start of it. Perfect. Looking good. Now, next, if you want to add peas to it, you can. Some people do, some people don't. I'm going to add some peas into mine. Now, normally, I drain it because you don't want all those juices into your fried rice and the rice soaking it up. That is not what you want. It would be mushy, yucky, and all that nasty stuff. So, we're going to go ahead and drain the peas, like so. It's okay if you leave a little juice in there because it won't hurt, but all the juice you don't want in there. I have now added my peas in here, like so. And you gotta be careful when you cook with the peas in the pan too, with all this, because I'll tell you, it does get mushy after a while, and you don't want that. So now, what we are gonna do is, let me take a drink first. That tastes so good. We are now gonna take our meat that we have and our low sodium soy sauce. Where's my mouth? And you're just gonna add maybe about, just sprinkle it all in there. Probably about a tablespoon, not even a tablespoon, probably about a half a cup. You want a half a cup actually of soy sauce in here because it's gonna turn the rice brown. And we just want this to get all nice and cooked here. I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit so I can start heating through. Evaporating all that. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of salt. Well, no, not gonna add salt because that does have salt in it. So what I am gonna do is though, I am gonna add some nature seasoning to this. Probably about, not too much nature seasoning. I would say about a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons at that. And just mix it up. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. So far, this is what the fried rice is going to look like. See, the rice turned brown. What you want is all that juice out of it. So, what you will have is like it dried. You don't want no liquid like that at the bottom. You want to have it just, you know, nice and brown. Just keep stirring it. Now, I'm about to put that over there. Oh, shoot. The camera got close to me. I don't know how that is. But now we're going to take the meat. And we're just going to take this meat. Some of the meat that is big, I'm just going to cut it up. But, like I said, now we're going to add the meat in there. The meat is going to, like, take a roll of it. I'm going to just cut it in half and show you. See, when you cut it, it's still a little pink inside, but that's okay. Because the meat is going to be cooking with the fried rice. So, you can cut these in half. You don't have to cut them in half. I think I'm just going to cut this one in half here because it is small. Not that small, but small enough. So it will get all that heat in there. And basically what you want to do, you can cut all these in half, which like I'm doing. Or if it's small like this, just throw it in there. I'm just going to go ahead and cut these, the bigger pieces, and just throw them in there. Like so. We want this meat to give up the flavors to the rice and the vegetable, and it's not that hard to make. It takes probably about an hour to get cooking and started, maybe. I would say about 30 minutes to have prepared, another 30 minutes to cook it. And if you want to add anything else to it or whatever, it would take a little longer. But whatever kind of meat you want, whatever kind of steak you want, if you want to try this. I've done this for chicken. And if I ever make chicken fried rice again, I will show you guys what chicken fried rice is. Or my version of chicken fried rice and what seasonings I use for the chicken and stuff like that. I'm getting some good meat up in here. Really good meat. All that grease has drained off the meat. And I think I'm gonna cut that one. No, okay. So, I'm gonna show you what the pan looks like. All that grease. Throw it away. Throw it away. And that came from the meat. That's what you don't want in this dish. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and toss it up. Just like this. Oh, smells so good, guys. So good. Now, if you want, you can add a little bit more soy sauce to it to keep that flavor going. But I'm not done. I like to add things to it more and more. That's just me. If I can find what I'm looking for. In fried rice, I know that there isn't cheese, but I'm going to show you exactly. Whew, this looks good. Cheese. I'm using Parmesan cheese here, 3 blend. I'm just going to add just, maybe not a lot, but like a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons. We're just going to, or just sprinkle a little bit in there. Because that's what's also going to bring out the flavor in this rice. Oh, looks so good. I am now going to turn this off. Show you guys the finished product. That is what steak fried rice looks like. Has egg, has sirloin steak in it, white rice, different seasonings. It has a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And there you go, guys. You have steak fried rice. Now, if you want to even go further with it, it's fine. Experiment with it. You know, experiment your own way to fix food. I see food as an art. I like fixing it, and I enjoy doing what I do. I just want to thank you guys for watching, and sorry for all the moving around and all this other stuff and rambling on. This is my first video, like I said. But like I said in the beginning, if you really like this video and want to try the recipe, please like and share my video and subscribe to my channel. Have a good night, guys. Bye.